What's up, guys? Higgins in Japan here with another edition of the Friday video. The Friday video is the video that I make right here in my car on the way to work on Friday, or on the way home from work on Friday, or on Saturday morning on the way to the mechanic's office. The mechanic's shop, not the office. Well, I mean, they do have an office, but it's commonly referred to as the mechanic's shop, or the shop, or the mechanic's office. I'm just going to stop talking now because now none of this makes sense. Anyways, guys, I am going to the mechanics to get my checkup on my car, as well as get a little repair work done. We'll go into that here in just a second. But I wanted to dedicate this video to all about cars in Japan. Now, I did a car tour of this car when I first got it. So if you're interested in seeing what this car looks like from the outside, there's a video that I made, and I will put a link in the video. There should be a little eye that pops up, and you should be able to click on that link and go there. So quickly though, I wanted to answer a couple questions, and we're going to start off because we're not driving right now. You might be asking yourself, why aren't you driving? Well, I wanted to point out something quickly here before we started. Now, if you look ahead of us, don't look at me. Stop looking at me. Look at the big video. Now look back at me. No, just kidding. Keep looking at the big video. Anyways, there's a sign on the fence there, and what it says in kanji, no one really knows, but this is a reserved parking spot. So I figured I would start off talking about owning a car in Japan and driving in Japan, because like I said, I got a few questions recently about driving in Japan. Lock those doors. And so I wanted to start out by saying, if you have a car in Japan, the real estate is very limited here in Japan. It's a small country. There's not a lot of place to just leave your car willy-nilly on the side of the road or park it where you see fit. Most cases, you're going to have to rent a parking spot, or you're going to have to rent someplace. Now, if you have an apartment or if you have a house, many times a parking spot is included. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's included with your rent. Again, sometimes it's not. In my case, there are 18 apartments in the building that I live in, and there are, I believe, 12 parking spots. So you do the math there, and you figure out who has to not park right next to the apartment. Now, I don't have to walk that very far. It's just right up the road here. It's not a big deal. I've been doing it for a year and a half now, and over a year and a half, almost 2 years. Holy cow. It's December. This year has flown by. Anyways, almost 2 years now, so it's not, I don't even care. If it's raining, whatever. I own an umbrella. I haven't melted in the rain yet, so there's that. So basically what that sign's saying is this is a reserved parking spot. Now, I pay for this parking spot. No one is allowed to park in this parking spot other than me. And so there are paid parking spots near the station. So if you do have to drive to the train station, you do have the ability to park at paid parking spots. Now, those range anywhere from a couple bucks to, tens of dollars, depending on the size of the station, where you're located, how long you're staying there. There's so many variations. Your mileage may vary. But that being said, I'm going to drive to the mechanic's office, because one of the things that you have to do if you own a car in Japan is you have to have the car checked up every 6 months. 2 times a year, every 6 months. And so you take it in, and basically they, do everything from oil changes to changing wipers to, if you need air in your tires, all that kind of stuff. In my case today, I'm going to need a little bit of repair work, because if you watch in some of my videos, if you watch next time, and maybe I'll try to point them out here as we get driving. Also, GPS lady might start talking. Who knows? Who knows what she's going to do? Oh, there's people walking. I got to hit them though. We're good. So basically, there's these little curbs that are around the sidewalk.
Then turn left.
Okay. There's these little curbs around the sidewalks, and so not like the normal curb here. It's kind of difficult. Maybe there's not going to be one near us in the next few miles, but who knows. Anyways, there's these little
Turn
curbs,
left.
and they're usually well marked. They're usually they've got reflectors on them. Yeah, you can kind of see, like,
In
those type
800
of
meters, turn left.
off to the right hand side here, like that. But anyways, as you
will
come around
arrive
the
at
corner,
8:36 a.m.
okay, you finished talking? I'm gonna talk quicker, because who knows when she's gonna interrupt again. Anyways, basically, those little curbs are about the size of, like, the height of the bottom of my car. And I took the corner too sharply, didn't see it. There wasn't like a little reflector on it, and totally just kind of scraped against it. Well, I didn't think anything of it, because I didn't think that it did much, because I went home, looked at my car, I was like, it's fine. And the next day walked out and saw that there was a scratch, like a dented in part of my fender. Not really a fender, but just like the little piece at the bottom near the door. So I took it over to the mechanics and had them take a look at it. They took a picture of it so they could order a part or something, and so hopefully they're going to get that fixed today, as well as the inspection. So those are the things you have to look out for if you are going to own a car. You got to pay for a parking spot, more than likely, unless your apartment comes with one or you have a house that has a parking spot. Also, twice a year you've got to take your car in for oil change, inspection, all that kind of stuff. And also, every 2 years there is a insurance tax thing, inspection that they do on your car. It's like a full-on inspection. They do everything, and then they actually tax you based on the model of your car. So if you drive like a K car like I do,
turn left.
You've got to pay a certain amount. If you have a car that's a higher class, then you've got to pay a higher tax on that. And that all comes out of your pocket if you own your own car.
In 600 meters, turn left.
In 600 meters, we're going to turn left. But in my case, I rent or I lease my vehicle. And so trips like today, taking my car to get it inspected, and things like the 2-year tax, I don't have to pay for out of pocket. Now, that does mean that I pay probably more than what I should on a monthly basis for having a car. Why would you lease a car? Well, there's a couple reasons, and hopefully they make sense. And I'm going to explain them to you right now. So why would you lease a car? Well, for me, I don't pay the full price of the monthly lease. Now, I can't really go into super details about it because it has to do with my contract, and I'm not going to publicly talk about how much I get paid. I'm not going to publicly talk about how much money I get for my car. Now, that being said, I do get a little bit of money towards the lease price of my car, and I do pay money out of pocket as well. So there's that to put into consideration if you're going to have a car here in Japan. Now, not every company that you work for is going to offer that, and not every company that you work for is going to have the same deal. So if you're coming to Japan to work in any capacity, whether it be teaching or otherwise, check with your representative from your company. My glove compartment just popped open. Shut up. All right. Check with the company that you're going to be working for and find out what they offer in the way of transportation and what they're going to offer you. So, like I said, I get a little bit of money and still pay out of pocket for my lease price, or for the lease of my car. The other thing, as we quickly pull up here on the...
Turn left, then turn right.
As we come up on the mechanics. The other thing is, you... like the 2-year thing that I was talking about, the 2-year tax and inspection thing. Now, like I said, I don't have to pay for that at all, and I actually get a new vehicle every 2 years, and so I don't have to worry about that at all. But that can range anywhere from...
Turn right,
I would say...
then continue straight.
I would say about $500 to, like I said, the bigger the car you have, the more you're going to pay. So like $400 to $500 to anywhere from a couple $1,000s is what I've heard. And that's every 2 years. So that's something else to put into consideration, as well as, the price of the car if you're going to purchase a car. And you can get plenty of used cars here in Japan, and they're usually pretty decent, and they're usually pretty clean, and
Continue straight, then
usually
turn right.
pretty decent cars. Now, I will say you need to watch out who you buy cars from. There's a lot of used car dealerships in my area, and they all just kind of seem kind of shady. So my rule of thumb in Japan is, if you're always unsure, take someone with you. Take a Japanese person with you. Take someone that speaks Japanese with you, and that way, you
Turn
keep
right,
yourself
then
from
your head north,
getting
then
too
you will arrive at your
messed up
destination.
with maybe a company that maybe you shouldn't. So we're at the mechanics, and I'm going to shut this video off. Thanks, guys, for coming along with me on this ride. Who knows if I'm going to get a lease or a little rental car to drive home, or maybe I'll be walking home. These are all things that I am unsure of. As always, guys, if you have any questions or comments, or if you have more questions about driving in Japan, let me know. Hit me up on Facebook.com/Higgins in Japan, and I will catch you guys later in another video. Peace.